this is my answer to privacy in the group, the Global Privacy Programme. We're a really, really small team. In fact, there's 3 of us. I head up the team. We're all lawyers, but we get consultants in and hire consultancies to help us with bigger reviews and work. We're responsible for compliance across the group, and that involves operational advice, policy work, strategic work with the board, and our direct reporting line is through the ethics committee and through the audit committee. So we do have a line straight into the board. So the problem that I was kind of faced with this group, and to some extent I'm still faced with, the risk profile of a group of companies, there's about 17 companies in the group across the globe, is incredibly complex. The number of different privacy laws that we're subject to is quite varied and sometimes conflicting. The amount of activities that we undertake are very varied, and we have various stakeholders externally, from governmental organisations, security organisations, and internally we've got our cabin crew IHR departments through to our marketing departments. So it's quite a complex picture. The board itself, where we're trying to get our resources and get our buy-in from, has a lot of competing priorities, and so achieving that buy-in is quite difficult from a privacy perspective. They have so many different priorities that privacy is very rarely at the top of the list. We're kind of hoping that GDPR might change that, but we're hoping it doesn't come via a fine. And legal and technical information is actually quite unhelpful for the board and for more senior members of the organisation, largely because these can be quite nuanced concepts, they can be quite complex, and that kind of information doesn't seem to generate the response that we really need. And so what we found we really needed to get across was reliable information in a format that the board would understand, would instantly grasp, and would take seriously. So I kind of looked across the organisation, and I have to be honest, I was new not only to the Middle East and to aviation, but to the private sector as well. I'd worked in the public sector back in the UK and abroad, so I wasn't used to the kind of corporate setup. And within Etihad, we're not part of the legal team, we're part of ethics and compliance, and we sit with our audit team. So I looked across our audit team and our enterprise risk team and wondered why it was that whenever I said this is a major, massive, huge, potentially catastrophic risk, please take this seriously and do something, I never seemed to get very far in my 2 pages of legal advice, bullet points. But the enterprise risk team only needed to put up a chart with a red line, and suddenly money was being spent and things were being done. So I spoke to our enterprise risk team and to our audit team and tried to work out exactly what it was they did that was so magical, and determined to try to use enterprise risk methodology to manage privacy itself. So rather than characterising these as kind of legal compliance problems, risks, issues, to start looking at them as real enterprise risks, which is what privacy is. If you have a breach, that's a big risk to the business and to its strategy. If you get a fine, it's certainly a big risk to the business. So trying to kind of almost reinvent ourselves as almost another part of the enterprise risk team. And so what I tried to do was to present the legal risk as easily digestible statistics. So to take all these legal concepts and these nuances and try to generate some numbers. And not just numbers, but if you've ever met our board members, you'll understand why. Pictures, nice charts in colours that are nice and simple and bright and bold and kind of capture the attention. But also to look at trends across the organisation and try to get a feel for where we are as a group, because we're a big group, we're a varied group, and we're also quite a new group. So understanding what's going on across that organisation is quite useful, certainly for our board members.